Skills are abilities that a player can progressively develop over time. Proficiency and experience points quantify a character's skill level. In Project Zomboid, skills are divided into 6 categories: passive, agility, combat, crafting, firearm, and survivalist. Each category has subcategories of multiple skills. A player's current skill level can be found by opening the health panel, clicking the heart symbol on the left side of the screen, and selecting the Skills tab. Experience points are gained toward a specific skill as your character performs tasks. Skills will level up and become more effective as the experience points reach predefined levels, with successive levels requiring more experience points. To see how many experience points your character needs to level up a skill, hover over it with your mouse to display the tooltip. 2 distinct categories of experience points exist in Project Zomboid: passive skill gain and regular skill gain. The skills in the passive category, which include strength and fitness skills, are unique because they need a much higher number of experience points before your character levels up compared to regular skills. For example, to reach level 1 strength, you'll need 1500 experience points or XP, whereas any standard skill would only require 75 experience points. As a comparison, your character would need 9000 XP for a regular skill versus 150,000 XP in strength or fitness to reach level 10 of the skill. Starting your character with traits or an occupation that boosts these skills can sometimes be helpful. During character creation, you can select an occupation and character traits. Upon spawning into the game, these selections will determine your character's skill levels. Carefully consider these choices during character creation, as characters that begin with bonus skill levels will receive permanent experience point boosts. However, the name XP Boost needs to be more accurate since it replaces the character's standard rate of experience point gain with the boosted value instead of multiplying or adding onto it. The level that a character begins within a particular skill will determine the bonus amount. For quick reference, you can tell what XP boost a current skill level has by its font color. Skills in yellow font will reflect a boost of 125%, skills in a white font will have a boost of 100%, light gray skills will have a boost of 75%, and dark gray skills will have a boost of 25%. Most character builds begin with a starting strength and fitness level of 5. Therefore, by default, most characters start with a 125% base experience point bonus in these skills. Exceptions to this are if the chosen occupation or character traits lower either of the skills' starting level to below 3. But how do you level up in skills? There are a few different ways that your character can gain experience points and level up skills in Project Zomboid, and the first method is using skill books. Skill books are usable items in the game that can increase your character's experience points when training up a skill. They can be found throughout the map on bookshelves or in other containers, but are only available for skills in the crafting and survivalist categories. Specific levels of skill advancement require specific level skill books. There are 5 volumes of books for each skill, with a skill book for every 2 skill levels. For example, reading Cooking Volume 1 will only increase the number of experience points a character gains until the character reaches the next tier in cooking skills. Your character can only read a skill book if it's within the character's current skill level. If a skill book is too advanced for your character to read, the option will not be clickable and will be highlighted in red in the action menu. Always ensure that your character reads the corresponding skill book, depending on their skill level. For example, a Volume 1 skill book will provide experience point multipliers for the related skills at levels 1 and 2. Once a character reaches level 3 or 4 in a skill, they then must read the Volume 2 skill book in the series. Skill books provide a multiplier to the rate at which a character gains experience points in a skill, and will help the player level up much faster with less effort. The experience point multiplier is progressive the further the character reads the book, with the multiplier rate increasing per 10% increment of reading completion. For each 10% of the book read, the XP multiplier becomes equal to the correlating percentage of the maximum multiplier of the skill book. And the game ignores resulting multipliers that are less than 1.0. So for example, if 10% of a Volume 1 book results in a 0.3 times multiplier, the player will still receive a multiplier of 1 times experience points. For a visual of the skill multipliers that your character currently has, if this is a little bit too in-depth and confusing, you can check out the skill tab under the health panel and you'll see animated arrows beside each skill. Hovering over it will provide a tooltip showing you the current XP multiplier. There are currently skill books in-game for all levels of the 11 character skills, including carpentry, cooking, electricity, farming, first aid, fishing, foraging, mechanics, metalworking, tailoring, and trapping. And there will be books for blacksmith with a separate skill book that applies for every 2 levels within the respective skill. Blacksmith is a skill that the developers have planned to implement into Project Zomboid in Build 42, which will allow players to use metal to forge items like nails or even sledgehammers. Blacksmithing will require a furnace, forge, anvil, and forging tools like tongs, and these will be craftable objects or objects found in the world. Skillbooks are items within the literature category with an encumbrance of 0.8. Skillbooks are not consumable items, so they are reusable. Most skillbooks have about 220 to 380 pages for your character to read. To read a skillbook, put the skillbook in your character's main inventory, right-click on the skillbook and click Read, and a progress bar will appear over your character's head. Without the Fast Learner or Fast Reader character traits, each page takes 5 seconds of real time or 2 minutes of in-game time for your character to read. You may wish to speed up the game since it will take your character between 18 and 31 real-life minutes to read otherwise. Note that you cannot fast forward in multiplayer mode. Double check that all pages of the book have been read. According to the Project Zomboid Wiki, 1 to 20 pages of a book can remain unread after reading it, and if a character missed pages while reading, you can repeat the previous 2 steps. Click the heart icon on the left side of the screen to bring up the health screen, and then select Skills tab to verify that your character is now receiving a boost for the skill. When your character has an added skill multiplier or boost, there will be that arrow animation from the name of the skill pointing toward the skill boxes. If you hover your mouse over the skill boxes, it'll provide that tooltip that we talked about to show you how many experience points you currently have and how many XP you need to get to the next skill level and any applied multipliers or skill boosts. So, let's say your character's interrupted while reading a book. In this case, the game's going to save the reading progress so that you can pick up where you left off later on, and you can tend to more immediate priorities like fending off zombies or fulfilling character needs. If you hover over the book in an inventory with the mouse, it will also display a tooltip to denote the amount of pages that have been read. Negative moodles will appear like boredom, hunger, thirst, and unhappiness while your character reads a book, so reading skill books in spurts can sometimes be beneficial rather than all in one sitting. Reading a skill book will give your character a multiplier on any points gained for the respective skill. For example, if you have read all of Carpentry Volume 1 and your Carpentry skill is at level 1, you will receive 9 XP instead of 3 XP for sawing logs into wooden planks until you reach Carpentry level 2. Reading skill books will dramatically decrease the time required to gain experience points and level up in a skill. In most cases, it is more resource savvy to read the skill book and have the maximum multiplier possible before trying to even perform actions to level up in the skill. More advanced skill books have more pages and take longer to read. Once you have enough experience to level up in a skill, the multiplier disappears and the experience gain returns to 1 times until you read the next skill book volume in the series. Several skills can have boosts simultaneously, and your character could have an active multiplier in every single skill. The following are the maximum multipliers earned by each volume level in a skill book series. Volume 1 is 3 times, Volume 2 is 5 times, Volume 3 is 8 times, Volume 4 is 12 times, and Volume 5 is 16 times. The Fast Reader trait reduces reading time to 70%, which means a character can read a Volume 1 skill book in 12 minutes and 50 seconds, rather than 18 minutes and 20 seconds of real-life time. The Slow Reader trait increases the reading time to 130%, meaning that a Volume 1 skill book would take 23 minutes and 50 seconds of real time to read, rather than the 18 minutes and 20 seconds. Another way to gain experience points and level up your skills in Project Zomboid is by watching the Life and Living TV channel, which airs on channel 203 for the first 9 days after you start the game. It can give experience points for skills and unlock crafting recipes for your character. Suppose you have your character watch Life and Living regularly during the first week of gameplay. In this case, you can gain significant experience points in cooking and carpentry and get a good head start on fishing, farming, foraging, and trapping. During off hours, the television channel will play advertisements. Life and Living has 3 shows that run throughout the day at 6 o'clock a.m., 12 o'clock p.m., and 6 o'clock p.m., or 1800 hours, and an advertisement also runs at the beginning of each day. Note that on the first day of the game, there are technically 4 airings of shows on Life and Living, but by default, the game starts at 9 o'clock a.m., so the show airs too early for the player to catch it on TV. But if you change the starting hour in your sandbox game options to 2 o'clock a.m. or 5 o'clock a.m., you can see more episodes on the channel on your first day in the game. The TV schedule begins on the game's first day, which is July 9th by default. Changing the start date in your sandbox options will also change the TV schedule's start date. The shows on the channel are Woodcraft, which helps people with woodworking projects, and each episode features a new piece of buildable furniture. The Cook Show teaches viewers a new recipe with each airing, and Exposure Survival is a show that teaches viewers necessary wilderness survival skills, with each episode teaching a different survival skill such as fishing, farming, foraging, or trapping. The level of XP that a character can gain per airing on the channel changes each day, and it's worth noting that Day 4 only has 2 airings at 6 a.m. and 12 p.m., and Day 8 has 2 airings at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., and Day 9 only has 1 airing at 6 a.m. You can check out the full schedule on the Project Zomboid Wiki, which is linked in the description. Recipes that you can learn through the Life and Living channel include bookcase, floors, walls, chairs, fences, doors, beds, and stairs, fishing rod and bait, campfire, tent, cage trap, rain collector barrel, chicken noodle soup, rabbit stew, salad special, pork stir-fry, BLT sandwich, pie, and cake. Some VHS tapes can be used with an appropriate television to gain experience points in specific skills. Note that antique televisions cannot use VHS tapes, and you have to use them with a Premium Technologies or ValueTech TV. The main types of VHS tapes are home VHS tapes, which feature home videos from camcorders of TV shows or sports games, and retail VHS tapes, which feature official releases of movies and TV shows. Home VHS tapes spawn once per title and feature a variety of everyday pre-apocalyptic scenarios like birthday parties, weddings, sports, and lore about the game. However, a select few VHS tapes provide XP skill gains for some skills that are not covered in retail tapes. Retail tapes feature movies and TV shows from the world of Project Zomboid. All of the television skill shows are on retail VHS tapes, and most retail tapes are parodies of TV shows or movies from the early 1990s that will reduce a character's boredom, and the retail tapes can spawn multiple times, unlike home VHS titles. You can find VHS tapes inside wardrobes, side tables, and desks within residential houses, and on shelves and counters in gift stores, storage units, shelving, and VHS stores. Some recordings can affect a character's moodles, unlock recipes, or help the character gain experience points in specific skills. You can gain XP boosts from traits and reading related skill books. The following VHS tapes will provide skill experience points: Dead Wrong, Mother's Boy, Z Squad Season 2 Episode 3, The Cook Show Episodes 1 through 7, Woodcraft Episodes 1 through 7, Exposure Survival Episodes 1 through 8, Car Zone Episodes 1 through 3, OSCC 92, Stock Cars, Granny Nanny, Tailoring 101, Nof Vid, No 9, Muldra AV Club, TV Repair, RMFA, Combat Wound Management, Grady v. King, Tree Planting Guide, Mathematical Quadratics and Algebraic Configurations, Basic Gun Handling Officer Use Only, and TV Repair. Recipe magazines are items found in the game that unlock particular abilities for the character. For example, characters can learn how to make new recipes, assemble equipment, repair different types of vehicles, and operate generators. Skills and traits not chosen during character creation are acquired using recipe magazines, like learning to make pesticides, which is exclusive to the farmer occupation. You can typically find recipe magazines inside mailboxes, alongside bookshelves in residential houses and libraries. The Guerrilla radio magazines only spawn in engineer houses, vehicles, and the trunks of radio vans. Recipe magazines teach the following recipes for the following skills. How to use generators, which teaches the character how to connect generators to buildings. Lane's Auto Manual, which comes in standard models, commercial models, and performance model volumes, which teach the character how to perform maintenance on standard, heavy-duty, and sport-type vehicles. The Farming Magazine teaches the character how to make mildew and flies cures. The Herbalist Magazine teaches characters how to identify poisonous berries, mushrooms, and forage medicinal plants. The Hunter Magazine volumes, which teach the characters how to make different traps and snares. The Metalwork Magazine volumes, which teach the character how to make metal sheets, containers, walls, and roofs. The Angler Magazine volumes teach the character how to make and fix a fishing rod, make a fishing net, and get the wire back. The Electronics Magazine volumes teach the character how to make remote controllers, timers, motion sensors, and remote triggers. The Engineer Magazine volumes teach characters how to make noisemakers and smoke bombs. The Good Cooking Magazine volumes teach characters how to make cake batter, pie dough, and bread dough. The Guerrilla Radio Magazine volumes, which teach the character how to make radios, walkie-talkies, and ham radios, and the Smithing Magazine volumes will be vital after the release of Build 42, as they will teach characters how to make metal cookware, tools, weapons, and first aid equipment. The Engineer occupation has a few recipes that characters can't learn from magazines, which include the aerosol bomb, firebomb, and pipe bomb. Passive skills include strength and fitness. Strength affects a character's many physical abilities, including combat elements, melee damage, push knockback and knockdown chance, maximum default encumbrance or carrying capacity, the opportunity to force locked windows open, and the possibility of climbing tall fences successfully. Strength experience points are gained by performing strength exercises, carrying more than 50% of a character's carrying capacity, running, hitting zombies with melee attacks, and chopping trees. Carrying capacity is also affected by negative moodles, which is something to keep in mind. Fitness also affects a character's physical abilities, including combat elements such as attack speed, the chance of pushing zombies away when attacked, the possibility of tripping over a foot-lunging zombie, the rate of endurance loss and recovery, exercise speed, and damage taken falling from heights. Fitness experience is gained by performing fitness exercises, hitting zombies with melee attacks while not overexerted, and running or sprinting at random intervals. There's an equal chance of receiving either fitness or sprinting experience points when running or sprinting. Endurance loss has many calculations, and the multiplier from a character's fitness level does not affect exercises. In contrast, the multiplier from endurance loss while using a weapon has a separate calculation. As a character levels strength and fitness skills, they may gain or lose certain character traits. For example, if a character has the feeble trait, they will lose it once they reach level 5 in the strength skill, and a character without any strength-related character traits would gain the stout trait after reaching level 6 in the strength skill. Strength and fitness skills gained because of the stout, strong, fit, and athletic traits, and the levels lost due to the feeble, weak, out of shape, and unfit character traits will only affect the character's skill levels upon selection during character creation. For example, suppose a character gains the strong trait after reaching level 9 in the strength skill. In that case, they will receive the strong trait icon in the trait list and the trait's boost for knockback power, but the character will not receive the additional +4 skill level to the strength skill that the trait displays during the character creation menu. The agility skill subcategory includes sprinting, light-footed, nimble, and sneaking. The sprinting skill affects how quickly a character can run and sprint and run while sneaking. Characters randomly gain sprinting experience points while running by holding the shift key or left alt. If a character is too over-encumbered or exhausted, they will walk quickly instead of running or sprinting, but can still gain experience points in the skill. You can even gain sprinting experience without zombies around. For each sprinting skill level, the character receives a 5% speed increase bonus added to their movement speed. However, this bonus is not multiplied, so it may not stack intuitively with other effects. The light-footed skill affects how loud a character's footsteps are and the radial distance from which zombies can hear the footsteps. All movement types are involved, such as walking and running. The noise reduction from the light-footed skill compounds with noise reduction from the nimble skill. The effects of the light-footed skill are the most noticeable when sprinting. For example, at level 0 of the light-footed skill, a sprinting character will alert zombies from multiple tiles away with loud footsteps, even if the zombies are behind the character. However, when a character reaches level 10 in the light-footed skill, they will have a significantly reduced noise level while sprinting, wherein a zombie will not be alerted, even within a few tiles behind a zombie. Players gain experience points in the light-footed skill when sneaking near zombies without being detected. The nimble skill affects how quickly a character moves during combat and the loudness of their footsteps. The noise reduction for footsteps is reduced for all movement types as the character levels up in the nimble skill. Similarly to the light-footed skill, the nimble skill's effects are most noticeable when sprinting behind zombies. Characters gain experience points at random intervals while walking in combat stance by holding the left control key or the right mouse button. Characters can earn experience points in the nimble skill regardless of whether a zombie is nearby, but cannot gain experience points without moving. With each level achieved in the skill, the character gets a slight multiplier for their combat walking speed and footstep sound radius reduction. The sneaking skill affects how loud a character's footsteps are while sneaking and how likely a zombie is to spot the character. Characters gain experience points in the sneaking skill by pressing C on the keyboard, sneaking near zombies, and remaining undetected. Walking and running while sneaking has a default sound radius multiplier of 20% with a 40% detection chance multiplier. As the character levels up in the sneaking skill, they receive a footstep sound radius reduction multiplier and a reduced chance of being detected while sneaking. The final subset of skills is the combat category, which include weapon skills and maintenance. The effects of weapon skill levels compound with variables such as noodles, strength, and fitness skill levels. The critical chance level from skills stacks onto the base critical chance of the weapon itself. Any attack performing a critical hit has a minimum of 10% and a maximum of 90% chance. Whenever a zombie attacks, the character can block the attack. The character can negate the damage by blocking the attack. If a zombie attack hits a player, the attack is checked against resistances through separate calculations to determine the chance of the character receiving an injury. In this case, all weapon skills other than the axe skill are reduced by 1. The weapon skill category includes the axe, long blunt, short blade, and spear skills. Influence, the attack speed, damage, critical chance, and the chance of automatically pushing zombies during front grabs while using the respective weapon. Players gain experience when successfully hitting a zombie with said weapon, and the benefits of each skill only affect that specific weapon. A few exceptions to note are that hitting trees with an axe no longer grants axe skill experience points, and the short blade skill also affects the chance of jaw stabs with short blades that have a stabbing attack type. Unlike the short blade skill level does not affect the chance of a unique animation while using spears. The maintenance skill reduces the chance that a melee weapon will lose condition with each hit. The firearms equivalent is the aiming skill. Experience points are gained in the maintenance skill when a character successfully hits a zombie with a melee weapon and the weapon doesn't lose any condition due to the hit. Training this skill is the most effective with a weapon with a lower chance of losing condition after landing a blow. The chance of a weapon losing condition lowers depending on the character's maintenance skill and the weapon's associated skill. Other skill categories in Project Zomboid include crafting, which includes the following subcategories of carpentry, cooking, firearm, first aid, electrical, metalwork, mechanics, tailoring, and survivalist skills, which include fishing, trapping, and foraging. Each of these individual skills are in-depth and will have their own respective skill guides that will be linked in the description of this video. Future releases from the Cross Blossom channel will include skill guides for the crafting and survivalist skills, armor and weapon guides, an in-depth character creation guide, and more, so click the bell to get notified when these videos are published. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to get notified for future uploads, give the video a like for the sake of engagement, and leave a comment with your best tip for leveling skills in Project Zomboid. Happy gaming! Hope to see you again in the next one.